But I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she's not a huge like sports fan
Okay.
or anything like that, but she'll go to
Hmm.
games. And she's actually from like I'm actually she's from the Pittsburgh area. I don't know where she is from actually,
Yes,
um, fully, but she's like, I've been to a Pittsburgh game. I'm like, PNC's Park is like one of the nicest stadiums
it is.
in all
Yeah.
of ML.
Oh, for sure.
And I want to go to a game. But she was like, um, I want to, um, she's like, oh, like I'm there and I have all this fun, and then like I realize I don't know what's happening. And I'm like, summer
So,
baseball games. The point is, this baseball games. I said like, there's nothing better. There's nothing better
yeah, I
than a
agree.
4:05 or like there's actually nothing better than a 4:05 Saturday baseball game in the summer
Okay.
because you can go tailgate at 1 or
Hmm.
12 or whatever time your lot's open. Usually 1. Get there at 1, eat lunch, like grill out, tailgate for like 3 hours. Go to the game for now they're like 2.5 hours, not like who knows how long they're going to be.
Yeah.
They're 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours long now, and you have to go extra innings.
Hmm.
And then you go home
Yeah. Right.
and it's like 7 p.m. So you can just go home because you're already hammered, just go home and go to sleep.
Exactly.
It's like a day drink. Great.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I think I told her it's the vibes. It's the vibes.
It's the
Summer baseball is a
vibes.
vibe.
It is, especially if you go with the right people too. Like if you're going with friends or family, whoever, like it's always a good. I always found it a good time. Like, I don't think you need to. It may not be the best, for the sport, but I don't think you have to pay too much attention to what's going on just to have a good time.
I agree.
You can still have a beer, you
I
can
agree.
still
Baseball
eat,
is one of those things.
you can
You
watch
miss
here and
two
there.
pitches, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Because even because we had the shower this past weekend, and one of my cousins was talking about this too. Is like because they were talking about like the rule changes and everything of how baseball's being
Mhm.
faster. It's like, yeah, when I'm watching it on TV, I want it to be like 2 or 3 hours, but when I'm at the game, I don't really care how long it takes. Like if it's 3 or 4 hours,
No.
I don't really care. Especially
Yeah, I
when
don't
like
really
with the
care
right people, you can just
either.
kind of drink, have fun, do whatever.
Yeah, I agree with
You
that.
can
And
pay
like,
attention to the game if you want, talk to your friends, do whatever. I feel like that in terms of that one, you could do a lot more in terms of just hanging out than some of the other
yeah,
sports. Because there's a lot more you have to kind of pay attention to what's going on.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I fully agree because like basketball is a very fast paced game.
Exactly.
Basketball, like you could be down by 10 and then literally 30 seconds later you could be up by 12.
Exactly.
And that's just how fast the game is.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
someone can pull up from 36 feet twice
Exactly.
and shoot threes, make them. You're down by, it's just right. You got a breakaway or whatever. With baseball, you miss 2 pitches it's not that. It's such a
Yeah,
slow
you miss a
game.
half inning,
When I
missing
was
inning, it's
younger,
not that big of a deal.
which is why when I was younger, I wasn't a big fan of baseball because of how slow the game was.
Right.
Whereas, rugby, basketball, soccer, well, not really soccer, but
Football.
football, always a little bit faster pace.
Faster space, more going on, more action.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it can be slow, but it's like stuff you have to watch for. But then, you know, but I just think summer baseball is a vibe. Like
I do too.
you can't beat it, in my opinion. It's so nice.
Hmm.
Plus, it's warm, so that's why I also like it because like I hate the cold stuff.
I do too. Until it gets to like mid July, August, when it's like uncomfortably hot out.
Yeah, when you're just soaking in the sun and you're just I'm gonna burn.
Yep.
Yeah, like yeah, that's why I always watch baseball games. Like if I could watch them, I would.
Hmm.
And I was always like, I would rather stay at home and watch it because then like I'm like 4 feet away from food and beer and stuff like that. I don't have to like walk and wait in line.
Right.
But then now I'm like, now that I'm like older, I'm like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
Like
I think what
especially now,
helps.
like how
I think what helps too, in terms of at least Philadelphia, is that for the most part, it's not like the Flyers, whatever. Most of our sports teams right now are good. So when you go to a game, you're probably treated to a good game. Even if they lose, it's probably going to be somewhat of a close game or a good game somehow.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless it's one of those weird ones where we lost by like 13.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, there's going to be those games here or there, but like if you're going to the Eagles game, there's always a good vibe there, or Sixers.
Eagles games are they're good vibes, but they're also just trashy vibes. Like
That's also
Eagles games are
true.
just trashy. They're just trashy vibes, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just
The
so
seasons are also
hostile. It's so
significantly
much fun.
shorter, so
Yeah.
people just get even more partying in just because there's less time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, also think about like people tailgate so early for those games.
They do. Yeah, but 1 o'clock game, guys, people are there by like 9, if not earlier.
Yeah, I think yeah, they're there so early. Like, or even like I'd say even like college football is like tailgating is so long.
It is.
Like I
Depending
went
on
when I
where
went
you're, depending on the school and where you, or what
when I went
game you're
last year to a
watching.
Penn State game. We literally tailgated from like 7 a.m. till the
Mhm.
game was at noon. We tailgated for 5 hours. My buddy blacked out before we got to the game. Went to the game. Like it was just the whole thing.
You blacked out before the game.
Yeah, we tailgated from. I opened a
Ah,
beer
yeah,
at
yeah,
7
yeah,
a.m.
yeah, yeah,
At
yeah, yeah.
7 a.m. I opened a beer and we just
Mm-hmm.
drank for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it wasn't we really couldn't do much because like it was cold. It was like October or something like that. Or no, it was in November. So it was like coldish and it was
Yeah.
freezing up in the stands. It was like snowing because it's in the fucking Penn State, it's always State College. So when it's snowing up there, it's nice down here.
Yep.
So I was like, God damn. So we couldn't just like walk around and do stuff outside. Like we couldn't do a lot of games because it was raining.
No. Yeah.
So we
Exactly.
just
Right.
sat there under an umbrella and just drank. I mean, we did that at the Eagles game too because it poured and we just drank. So I was like, yeah, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
no, sports games. But yeah, I'm known as like the sports guy on our team right now for work. So
Are
I'm
you?
like, yeah. Well, yeah, they're like,
You
somebody told
became
us something
you
interesting.
can't. You became a
I
person
was like,
already.
yeah,